morning, I was thinking about an old U2 song, and Bono, a good Episcopalian, singing, "But I still haven't found what I'm looking for." Well, the person who wrote this psalm has. He or she has found himself or herself in the reality of God. Not some impersonal force from a galaxy far, far away, but an intimate I-thou relationship. I love the experience my wife, Christy, has shared with me about living on a country road in Turner, Michigan, climbing the beech tree in her backyard, tomboy that she is, up there 30 or 40 feet, finding the sweet spot. She'd hug the bough and feel the wind, the fresh wind, push and pull that tree back and forth, creaking and swaying. That's where I first felt God, she says. How awesome is that? I love to feel God. Wind in my face, rain in my hair, country roads, Rocky Mountain high, sunshine on my shoulders. Makes me happy. I shared a childhood experience with you in one of my very first sermons at St. Mark's. This week marks 6 years in ministry with you, and it continues to be amazing. I figured last night, while trying to go to sleep, 6 years equals about 300 sermons that you've endured. Enjoyed. You've enjoyed them. Anyway, the story is at the Methodist church where I grew up, every Sunday while my parents schmoozed, I stood in front of a huge picture of Jesus, and it was hanging in the lobby there at that old church. Jesus standing at a door at night, vines and thorns growing up the posts of the door. All the while, he's been standing there holding a lantern in his left hand, and he's knocking with his right hand. And one particular morning, as I was Jesus gazing in my blue polyester suit and clip-on tie, I felt someone appear. I felt them appear at my side in a David S. Pumpkin sort of way, if you know who he is. If not, YouTube it. After a pause, the person said, "Notice there is no handle on the door." And being the sensitive, intuitive, spiritual kid that I was, I turned and I looked at the lobby door of the church. He said, No, I mean in the painting. There's no handle on the door. Yeah, I mused, you're right. Another pause. That's because the door must be opened from the inside, the stranger said. It is the door to your heart. Pretty heavy. And I never forgot it. And I turned aside to look at the stranger, but he was gone. Obviously an angel or an apparition of some kind, I figure, who suddenly got sucked up the air vent in the wall there. The point is that I've always felt that knocking on my heart's door. And opening it wide through the difficulties of life, it has led me to be the outstanding priest that I am today. And so humble, too. And Christ has never left me, ever. Lord, you have searched me out and known me. This is the attitude of faith, which takes hold of all of you, every part of you, in every moment, in every situation and circumstance. There is nowhere that God is not there. This is our reality. We are never alone. God's love and light and promise and inspiration always rest within us. Some of us are looking for answers. Well, God knows this. Some of you are looking for direction. God knows this. Many of us have deep scars, something that we've experienced that has really hurt us. God knows. Some of us have struggles or doubts or questions or obstacles, or we're dealing with something. Maybe it's something that nobody else is aware of. But God knows and wants to help you, to fulfill you. Lord, you have searched me out and known me. As a young adult, I once claimed to be an agnostic. It was always great to be able to say that. Well, I'm an agnostic. The word means literally one without knowledge. Sometimes I think of an agnostic as an uncommitted atheist who's really covering his or her own butt, just in case this God thing turns out to be true. Then, standing at God's judgment throne, he can plead, "Sorry, God, I just didn't have enough knowledge." Our psalm suggests that we look around, look at our environment, what God has made, setting the stars in their place. God formed us from the clay, as the prophet Jeremiah says, breathed divine life into our earthly lungs, and we became a living soul. Not only were we made by God, as the 14th mystic Julian of Norwich said, we are made of God. Holy wisdom planted deep within us, a divine spark, a passion for what is just and true and beautiful and good. It is the heart's desire, deeper than any fear or hatred can be. I'm spiritual, but not religious. Oh, if I had $1 for every time I heard that one. They are usually people who distance themselves from anything that might look like doctrine or discipleship or, God forbid, church. They'd rather wander around like Obi-Wan Kenobi, disseminating